Welcome back. Today we are going to look into graphing straight lines using intercepts. So we're going to I'm going to show you two methods. The first method is on the screen, which is using a table of values to graph a straight line. Now, to use a table of values, just a little review from year 9 work, you would have your x values and your y values, and then you would put it as a coordinate and plot it onto your graph and then connect the dots. Now, if I had, for example, my y value, if I substitute 1 into my equation, and my y value that I get from my equation when I substitute x equals to 1, I get 2. To look at that as a coordinate, you would write down as 1 to 2, because a coordinate consists of x and y. The next part is something new, which is called using intercepts. What I mean by using intercepts, it's looking at the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. Now, to find these intercepts, either or, right, you need to use the skill of substitution. So it's kind of like substituting substituting 1 into the equation, or substituting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into your equation and get your y values. In this case, what we're going to substitute is we're going to substitute x or y, equaling it to 0. Okay, so if I want to find my y-intercept, I need to substitute x equal to 0. So do the opposite. So if I'm looking for the y-intercept, I need to put x equal to 0. Okay. If I want to find my x-intercept, again, do the opposite. My y needs to equal to 0. Okay. What this will look like is like so. My y-intercept as a coordinate would look like the following. If x equals to 0, then my y needs to be any other number. So it should look something like this. I'm pretty sure you can tell what my x-intercept would look like. If my y is 0, then x will be any number that I know of. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, once I found the x and y intercept, I'll plot it down into the Cartesian plane, and then I'll connect the dots. Okay, hopefully that is very simple and very self-explanatory. Let's go to one question. It says, graph a straight line by finding the intercepts from the following equation. Okay, so we're going to find out intercepts, which is my x and my y's. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to write down to find x-intercept, right? Let's just start with x-intercept because that seems a little bit more easier. It means that it's when y equals to 0. Okay, if I'm finding my x, y needs to be 0. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write my equation, which is y equals x plus 3. I'm now going to substitute y equal to 0 into my equation. So the next line should look like this, 0 equals x plus 3. Once I've done that, I'll just use my algebra skills. So it should be a one-step equation. I need to get rid of 3 on this side and on the other side because I want x equal to something. I want x to be the subject. And I will get 0 minus 3 equals 2 minus 3. So x must equal to -3 when y is equal to 0. So in this case, my x-intercept, I'm going to write it down here, is as a coordinate -3, 0. Now to find my y-intercept needs to be x equal to 0. Okay, now I'm trying to find what my y-intercept is. Therefore, when x equals to 0. Right. Okay, I'm going to write my equation, which is y equals x plus 3. Then I'm going to substitute x equal to 0 into my equation. So it should look like the following. Anywhere I see my x, I'll substitute for 0. Then y should equal to 0 plus 3. Y should equal to 3. My y-intercept is 0, which is my x, comma, positive 3. Now my question says it needs to graph, right? So I need to now graph it on a Cartesian plane. I know what my x and my y-intercepts are. I'm now going to plot it on the Cartesian plane. So I'm going to draw a Cartesian plane. Make sure to use a ruler. Make sure your increments are correct. Just like this. And then label it. So this will be positive. This will be my x-axis, the horizontal one, and my vertical will be my y-axis. Hopefully this makes sense. Okay, I've got my Cartesian plane. I'm now going to plot it. My x-intercept is -3, 0. So I'll start on my x-axis. My x-intercept was -3. So I'll move here. So this will be my x-intercept, right? Because my y is still 0. I'm just moving across to -3. My y-intercept here is 0. My x needs to be 0, so starting from here and going up +3. So that's my y-intercept right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a ruler. And all I'm going to do is draw a line. I'm nearly done. Now all I need to write down is my equation right next to it, which is y equal x plus 3. And that's all done. I'll see you next time. Bye.